ne ekoso wo yeman Ghana mu mi bedi dwumadi ho chiame media ne ohene ba akosia safowa kentimpo na yenya bedwafo akuku damienu ewo efie ha a mo beboa yen na de rubokrata na pay yenya no ya hwe kratafa etoso ba kono ensema ewo ho na wo mo ma beka me say Nyudinkai Mr. Teddy Amponsa. He's a political analyst. Mr. Teddy, akwaba.
Yeah.
What is saying? Boko Bema. Yemo akwaba de ba fonton from. And Nyudiso nurturing appear could be. Nurturing edinia me debia. I'm being tempted to name my son Nurturing. Nurturing. Mr. Nurturing, akwaba.
Mejo so ohine ba akosia safoa.
Yes.
NNF dedi kan edi share wa hanse. Ya ma akwaba so.
Me dance.
Sometimes ta ba hanum se nti ya ma akwaba se.
Akwese me na me ye kokko.
Obeka enso ye ho. Na knowing very well say you are a legal brain, no? We are hoping say the discussions will be good. It will be devoid of Niama Sebia more mining tumpong. Not the moment tumpong kwan e become wasam.
Hopefully. You ashe for me fa kwanya we so na ma we she me sister your friend of Pelura Oku ene odi na woda sister Pelura nyame shout as for nyankopon nya okese o ma won koso akoma pa odi doye nyina onuanom Chelsea me ka ho enamfofo a ye be won nyina no ye da wase bebre nyankopon koso a enhira no mfa emfi bebre enka won fie ho ahwefo. Let's go straight to the point and set the ball rolling. We share the rubokrata edikan. Now, the Republic Press, it says that Oforiate's home raided, family left shaking after military invasion. Oforiate's home raided, family left shaking after military invasion. If I quite remember, we are no more in the military regime. Some of us were fortunate not to have met that regime. The latest 90s babies. By no JJ Rawlings or ye democratically elected president of this country. Inti ne course on ye hu. Na emu ya hwe mfoni ya hwe videos ya te apaka samefri mpanimfo ho. Na twa say ne course no na enye fe na enye de. Inti no na enya dia Ghana ye wish say we go back to military regime no ebim we are beautifully enjoying our democracy. Inti na then Beba anti former Minister of Finance, people in military uniform, ebe burani fie. Omo kopeden. Abejo Ford, Mr. Teddy.
We be say.
Anti asempa.
We be say bi na mechia wahwefo enyinara. Na ebrani brain na so ye ba ha no. Ye hu se impuntu hye bi nso ewo ha. Niema esesa. Aha ye fefefe. Nti ebeda kantanka so ase se osiesie ha na yenso yetimi tena ha enijem na yetimi edi Ghana honsem abobo dia waka fa finance minister o migidi se ye ka na enye ne kwan paso esan se obi ebe serve ne man na so wie na se tibia we mu ne yede ne befa migidi se koyie emma omo tie kire a omo kondo se omo nso be den ebe amanyefo nti na de meka ne se yewo akwan ahoro bebre a yebetimi afaso a yebetimi eden hihye pa ato ho a se ye ka se ye pese ye operation oral a ye de bae ye kwan bebre a yebefaso a me feel se ebe so hygienic ebe so welcome na ye be frɛ no na yetimi ne na kasa se o niema se ni se ni ate na magie di se before ye to aba no niema ye de share ye members in crime se ye ba se na o se ye se na o se no migidi se no bi na tete ye democracy apansam na se ye be hwɛ de a na migidi se ya nhwɛ ni yi a ekwa akoya ade bi a every 4 years anasa ban foforo bi aba so a it started with toilets taking over toilets. And then MPP for also ba so say oh NDC ni nam na ne car ni ejina no ni agye ne car free nsem because ye pese ye kwhwe say abind there na say one kasa personal vehicle. But I believe said tit for tat no emwa yen Ghana for what say a drum pempen so bia ba kutimi timi enya nuhu bi say there be ade ayeye emwa ye na emom e was say ba ku hu ehu nyansa bi say media men kɔ saa na meye de betimi aboa ebe ma Ghana for nso ani age aman bo but ene o hwa twitwa asem bebre na ekoso na yem voti say a new government beba na you go through all this me gidi say niam NDC dia to akwan mu so mo pese omo ye no omo ahye biase enti rather mom no ye mompa ye mfa mpa bonta echi na ye nhwe se niam abekɔ se ne ye nia na ye hwehwe no Ghana na ye ma ye nyina na nso niam ye de kabo ani hu ene hye nipam na nso ni nkrofo bebre wo ho a omo nim de aworo anka omo betimi de aboa na nso se yan fa kwan pa bi so a wan hwe yi a ye nti asempa esan se ne akoye finance minister se nye obi na video a na akoye se military regime ani e ka ho asemi se ye redu fi a obi anim ye behwe ne abducto ne ye de wa akɔhye baabi enti me gidi se ye ntwa ne nyina so na ye ntimi hu se democracy ne de ye adwuma enti ye ma ye process mom endi enim kan dan say ye be ye niam say oh yate information we fine information ye de adwuma what information na so a ye okwan a fa so na me gidi say de ye koso no de nya de a etwa ye kra ma ehu bo emom na ehye Ghana fo mu esan say na wote ho a wonnim say ochina ye say also oye ebia president adamfo nti ebia also bibi afa wase nti also ye nkone nkɔhwehwem ejidi say enya de a beboa ye nyina nti rather no mom no o mampanin fa ne nan so nsifo na ontimi mfrɛ ne nkrɔfo say enye sei na mepɛ no na emom ye mfa ekwan a ebema obia ho atɔ no efi say ye ka nkrɔfo wi ade kra omo obrese ye court omo fa lawyer ema lawyer timi gina mu ma won na se eba ne se makoya aban adwuma na se bia wontwi bi ente ye ho ase bia e sei na wo se ye fa so ana enye ne kwan so a ti mesre se no de NDC aban momma wei esuntwa na ye ntimi mfa ye ntoma pamfra ne ehu se ne ye bia no eni yiem but ne yiem na se ya mfa kwan pa so a eya na emfa ne mapa so emra moaye
Tedi amponsa se emfa ne kwan so enye ye nyina ye mfo aso sebe ye wo mra wo ho ai guide se wo pese wo take you be on legally in that civil way and as a criminal way na se nipa ne wo ho ne nabusuafo wo ho na putupurumu be tu ahye mo so we kwade ye se oni Ghana nta ye busuafo ne na ewo fia sa asem we eto wo mo ye be hye wo mo den wo mo nkafra nurturing ni akosi yu hu ne san
safwa medase na machia Kantanka TV ahwefo nyina meden chiakase ye bema me political godfather the Honorable Alfred Okuvandapoy, the former mayor of Accra. Na me Chrome MP. Obabesia watunu huesi wasabebwa ma nyema kosu yedi ama Memphis Central Fonia, the Honorable Joanna Jankujo. Na mini apenia Oprese Obenya DC wa Memphis Central District, the Honorable Fifi Samoa. The American say asema istino Broni Besia is unfortunate.
Sure.
And say ya asema etu bia. Metaka de bia say most people are politically exposed. In the idea say a ban of crime, they are actually involved in crime. But if you go to most public and civil services, say certain people who we don't really know, who we have not voted for. I am not saying say the former finance minister Oforiata we don't know because he has not been subjected to any court proceedings. I have for. But the idea is we must distinguish the issues. I think that we must set the record straight. My kind krata ne kakra, my kind go deep, but nowhere has it been said say it was the oral team and it sanctioned the military going to Oforiatta's house. For the sake of Yashafono, my kind kakra, krata mwamode sene and my kind kakra will say Oforiatta's home raided. Family left shaking after military invasion. It says, information reaching the Republic press indicates that a group of individuals in military uniform stormed the residence of the former finance minister, the Honorable Ken Oforiatta, on Tuesday afternoon. The incident occurred in cantonment while Mr. Oforiatta was reportedly out of the country. At the time of the raid, some family members, including his wife, were present at the residence. However, as at the press time, information about the incident was sketchy, and the motive behind the raid remained unclear. So as we speak, and I like how the paper has reported. Because in recent times, among who share military uniforms, you claim said they are members of national security. Abba out said they were not members of the military. Minka among for yawa, I was worse for gone. We saw people in military uniforms and khaki attire top and down. Omokoye and Yambran Semwoho. Mesre said the armed forces is a creation of law. Article 210. Parliament now my whole coin say yenya military no. The little I know about the army, they said no army personnel ebedi juma without the sanction of a superior order. And the attorney said, let's find out from the high rank of the army. Who were they? Were they actual military men or not? As I say, may anywhere I go have my constitution. Yet the amamran ebu o mine. Regardless of the fact, say Mijidi said there are so many loopholes in this constitution. Yes, sir, and Kwade and the I would name say the president is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Into anything a soldier will do, a call down to the doorstep of the president. You see, I believe strongly, nobody can change my mind. Say, one minister of finance will cause a great mess to this economy was the former finance minister, the Honorable Ken Oforiatta. Because I believe strongly that you can't convince me, say, oh, the $5 for 4 cities, I got 12 cities, even 15 cities in poor, we should praise you. But I don't know, be who can say he should be assaulted, he should be attacked, and what have you. Because what could he fear? He is not there. You are causing fear and panic to the family. And I believe that the military high command must launch an effective investigation into this matter. And first of all, because we are to ascertain the fact that were they military men or not. Thank you very much. When that fact is laid clear, who sanctioned them? What is the motive behind that? I believe strongly in oral. Because I think, this week, Winneba, there's cholera outbreak among who, and the basic hospitals, they maintain sanitation. Now, one particular person, that person must be dealt with in accordance with law. But I don't think, in dealing with them based on law, no, we should subject people to fear and panic and cause harm to them. I'll call for investigation, and I'll call that the new government should investigate thoroughly what has been done in the past to ascertain any variety of crime or otherwise.
Natural Sabijafo, Enina, I dream Marco say, Essa Semway, a sort man penny in 9 fem, Naya Shishemu. The facts are no be a bang power, and also man penino, and Chrese, Mrano Mubu or Mino. Ebio muria bibi anaso ma for mine japade empo se yesusu se o man japade akwa akodru o mu ha ye kwan a se ye fa so na ye je ema o man no enti na abedwafo medam ase let's move quickly to Daily Graphic. Say NAT demands action on senior high school indiscipline. NAT Ghana National Association of Teachers, they are demanding action on senior high school indiscipline. Over the past 2 weeks, last week, senior high schools, especially one more Accra, students from one school, bully another student from another school. About 2 weeks ago, na me drive wo Osu at the core cantonment. Me husana school kolebi omu dimika. Na the other team so for her say interfe me husana police so ats mu wo Osu traffic ni mu. Nti later ansana me better say na wo mo ko say interco say entertainment to battle na omu ko say denyo video be a pop up na student ekra machete edi gwa the other fellow from another school. How did we end here? Ebi no make say na say GS say my mbon kwala ni biom nti na ama nkwala no ate atua sa na me dem use akwala bone de ya akwala bone enye enfia ne aba na ya withdraw from our education system no mu na ama courses abedwafo ne course yi mu ho ne say airtime there airtime Mr. Teddy.
Yeah, make say over the years na sanity, but I believe say you can say loopholes about system no and ebia the cycle ye dey educational system no assessment tracking system I use no ma unhum po say bia second year no ofie ana say or say owo school. I think say Ninia sounds very confusing. Emma kind of in near manunsu to me see because we look at absenteeism. Absenteeism no student who bet me on Okroma amana catch also they be fear because or a day student na say no more be fear.
Meanwhile, last 3 days me this other boy be an bag bonnet and I say around and on I'm head or see I'm you. Let me say hey
international form ones for no so makwanya.
Me something who form one so form three so.
Form one for makwanya or more befie. So I believe say no nema distortions we in ever. Teachers and so the way to go and I'm say or more fun. It's say someone can want someone. Say penny etnasena and colari nanka or no so yebuna nankari for and international say ne kwan so no mo ka no se discipline bi betimi aba machete asem ya I kan yin it went viral ube students na
very horrific
almost any idea in uniforms and on social media.
No,
I don't think that is the way we want to bring up our children. And into GS and she said omo be take pragmatic steps ama yetimi aiden aso eniameyano intentem. It's answer only a future leaders. And if the future beholds on them, na ye hu niema we no more. Na me gidi say ntwe because me go school kro bi am fa second. Am momeda. Na so enemu me can say you are going for only 3 years. Sometimes now you go school now you see a set form we fu abodre. Oh form 1 form 2. Who no kra na ofre wa usuro. But and then omo bo so. Just SS1, SS3. Now the machete. And then to me GD say GS then and she share for be better wa. Ebema a bit see near many way in yan kwan. And yes, idea. Now the future is bleak because you share the my year nedia. Now you say you can't say exposure about, but exposure. No, I think we are taking it in the wrong direction. We need to rather look at how best we toe a line the discipline school simo and yes idea na can ye born keke esan say one way hwe say omo beba be replace ye no omo mom kra no yan hwe ye omo mfamfa so de papa bia emre ye
o tell you better was say the train
cancel
o hwe na say o bad just imagine say o ba we na go school only for it to pop up say ni colleague Eddie machete gwano.
Council, Mami make this very instructive statement. Say Yatati say the future belongs to the youth in blanket statement. I disagree. The future belongs to the sensible youth.
No, okay, you are qualifying it.
Thank you very much. The unreasonable ones will destroy the future. I'm in the education space. In the about issues about education, I am passionate about it. First of all, not a calling for on the government to ensure they bring discipline in the schools. I think this call is seriously misplaced because NAT, a teacher union under the education setup, NAT, CCT, NAGRAT, and a host of others. I think, apart from NAT, your CHAS, Conference of Heads of Secondary School. Yeah. These are all divisions or unions within the education sector. They are to sit together and ensure that discipline is manifested in our schools. Me, try now because student. I mean, because I don't believe in that. I believe in caning a student. But I believe in the fact that you put in measures who say opinion. Over the years, our education system no apampa so much. Council, obeji di say o try there was senior high school akwara nim say wuntumi ngwa you the teacher has no serious sanctions against that student. And when the child is misbehaving, onim say wuntumi nyane hwe. Okay, in the 90s then sir. Akwara show teacher ni because onim say teacher ni betimi punish na e benya effect one so. But see no I don't believe in caning students. Some people believe in that. Chokonkone says spare the rod and spoil the child. And why would we go and learn from advanced democracies? Near copy blindly say we are taking out caning from the system entirely. You see, Enkwara Bebre him say BBC between a student and a teacher. Akwara will write more than the teacher. Me and my senior brother Bright Appear, child advocacy. Or yeah, but I strongly believe say Omar Krani who say I will write so much. Now you don't hammer on the responsibilities. You are harming the child. How come say Akwarabe cool school for machete? I know academy very well. Your back gate and our front gate for her. And security is very, very tight. How were they able to put machete in their bags to enter the schools? When you are paying say those days then, I would disagree because those days they a coso, but because of the lack of social media, it was not coming out so much.
Probably.
But you see, we must not encourage bad precedent. GES IAB. I know GES had GES Code of Conduct for Students. I'm in the setup and I know, every school has what you call disciplinary committee. As already bonia, and then about 18 numusem. Unim the rule of natural justice. And also TSA as I see what was the role of the child. But I blame society. In the sense that I have sat on that committee severally. And what I realized is that when the committee sits, now the committee brings out their sanctions. The committee only makes recommendation to the head of school. And the head of school will apply the sanction to the latter. GES was to the extent that every school has the G&C coordinator, guidance and counseling coordinator. Yeah. As a seminar, you want to say Akrano or was some distortion in the mind, behavioral disorder, I didn't call. But the thing is that the moment the sanction is meted out, Sakrani are connected politically. Ubehuna Koaba. There have been instances where a call has come as far as the Flagstaff House, calling the Dean of Discipline, say, we say, into tamper justice with mercy. There have been occasions, I'll be traditional leader. Now, to the church, Busubashana Galante, cause on the crew, or no, about the patch, or say, Yenja Corano. And I think, you see, Akora, if you lay down the rules and give them the guidelines, and they know, so veer off the tracker, their sanctions are according to that. But the moment Akrani who said there is a loophole, they'll take advantage. So me, I don't agree with Thomas Musa Tanko, now secretary say binding brim. They are on the ground. They should go and sit down as union leaders and stakeholders. Now, for recommendations come out by say they are cosuni. And again say if government takes this A, B, C, D part, but you don't come and throw your hands in despair and begin to cry like a baby. You are not tackling the issue head on. And also more.
Nti na ne chere no would this the sanctioning through a caning no. It should be reintroduced into the system.
Council, I have said, I don't believe in that. Because me say, I wasn't good in maths because of teacher Nibiana or Faba.
Because
no, wow.
Yeah. Because me kai mo class 2. Me teacher Nibi gua me mama.
Thank you. Thank you.
Emma be issue. Me born ya ne say me kosiri obi. Say na no tuku ma girl ni so ya ma be 1 month no ba school nto mo hwe mu na ye akosi asafo na akosiri girl no. Nti na say o mo punish me. Na say broso
yeah
me say my nyani ye as akola na mum the punishment was way too much because me mama like when ye palma affecting many until with that experience me mfo say we should reintroduce caning into our education system akobo ma bono kra nursery menua ba ko bi nia me di na chi no papa to me guana sa guana ko show nursery enka no kra until we have to find various ways I bet me atete enkola no wo fie se ne charity begins at home. And I believe a stakeholder when a stakeholders in na ejuma, you don't fee and then throw the child into school say with teachers ne GS and entity Obama. As someone out the entity no e sha akola no school home kwa to misa ya papa. Apart from a trade kakra me school be me teachers per massive. Me headmistress, me house mistress, almost per massem. To the time say me war a SS Form 1. Me buy a dorm monitress, na seniors e wo home. And I'm entity papa any obu na me di fie. What as so obisi akwala boni di fie. Enti teacher phone so wo role. And then kwala no so no wo mu wo role. Enti ye besre se ne amenu aka ye no. Ye to aso na ye call the Daily Ghanaian Guide. President Mahama 30 days in office, resetting nation agenda in motion. Yeah, papa. 7th February no nya 30 days. Yeah, shani assessment so far.
I think the mechanism so far so good. Definitely, the rights are way over the wrongs. And Rebecca said, why are they? Because,
so far so good.
Getting his ministers also on board within some few days, no.
And within the range he gave.
I believe, sir, while he's held the position before, he's been in that kind of way before. So, for him to do things and in a speedy manner, and one thing I see, and I say, he's given more chance to the youth because I'll share appointments are they most of them don't exceed maybe 50. Utumu said they are within the 40s range, and Ketua Kra 32, and Nekra say Shekra Nache say Council of State
Western Region.
Yeah, the Nabano say Ampa or GDB or youth. Now, Adia Bakwa Mihone say he is throwing a challenge to the youth. Say we should also take up some
leadership
of these positions and mantles. So then, say Bibia, we don't come pointing accusing fingers.
Say my opportunity, no?
Yes, and I think that the opportunity has been given, and the way to handle things. See it me jaya ma youth here. Assume. And see me feel say this is a very good way to go. Na ye bonfire so say omo ayede positions are show monsano. They will do their work diligently. Na emfasodie bi mrem emma ye hu say Mahama eniswade hu ohu omumu no. Eno so ayede ewie peyo ama nipa ana Ghanaians enya ho benefits. Se meka akosisa na meka say youth no bebre no se bibia se ye ko ni akoje tumi no esan se mpanimfo no ntimi nye mpanimfo no o ebi mo because ye hwekra review committee which was for MPP say almost share why the laws. I think say almost the honorable your friend is saying old speaker the committee chairman, which was Michael Okwei. And you look at it, when you when you anka was say you fresh hands be on obetimi ayesa de no, but you realize they were still in that kind of it.
I think so.
But what I see about NDC is they try to use
one thing Mr. Kramer observed about the NDC.
That is something good because I feel the youth is the next generation we have, and you know, say starting you so na the skills and mindset it will travel afar kakra. Dan say ye use so akokra ebia in 4 years time na adwen na say a week. Na it was say a show before for bishop. But and then the experience they are going to earn within 4 years, I think if you are giving them another mandate, they would be able to do extremely well because they've been in such positions and now they have the experience to be able to do other things. And I believe in the 30 days, there's a welcoming news, Niema had to talk the way I was said to talk. But it's too early anyway
to judge him.
To judge. And he says, "Send your econo." Says, "Son, ebe kono dia ebe boa." But niema kakra bia distractions. Ma and also also moshe. I think say bi ne kan wansem etwutwura asem say ya for obi na also wo de ompene. E wo say ye hu say ye wo omo a ye de gi to me. Ene ye wo omo a ye di bu mine. Inti enye say ye gi to me wi a mo amoji to me no mo ana mo ba and that difference is what the full soldiers should understand. So ye ntimi nya ne sa ase ne amohwehwe no nti se Mahama in his own wisdom no who say we effective for that position no dear ma. I think we need to respect those decisions and rather see how it unfolds. Say nipa ne be ye adwuma no ama na ye ne yie na yetimi aka say oh say when timi anya de a eno na mutimi ba Mahama ho back e ka say ade ya ye koso yi ye hu niema bi say entwe yie nti ene frɛ no na one ne nkasa. There are so many ways to go. Me will say build a very good democracy.
Yo, Mr. Teddy, during the inauguration of His Excellency the President and any vice, Papa Dufo, interview no Kasembia ye me depa. Also, no, dear baby, he doesn't think he needs an appointment. Was all mine Emma and Mebunu no quine. Now, one mono ejinetri, no more direct. I was so happy. But Mebunu be dear. And I send your kind a banner of youth empowerment, youth in leadership. NDC for the papa saying, Yen more the NPP, a Kahona, or more position. Into NPP for Monshana Munsia, Senya na Okano, Yapa Aaron Michael Quay. On and on, the committee chairman for
the review.
I'm out for any anje. Because they think said like Nipano why ye be a moment it's not a crack. Name mom say more far no so ya no ma kono ho. Ono na kwakwa think tank bi amayen. Bibia ni papa ye ne sen papa ye ko aha na de bia mpanimfo na mudi animu. Na mo pia youth no na ye hyase na bootleg nko a okokasa ye si buei. Enti naturen 30 days of His Excellency President Mahama. How do you assess his performance?
I think so far, so very good. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, onye new to the presidency, with Di Mampenyinda. And most Ghanaians are almost politically tainted, no? They would not forgive John Dramani Mahama if he fails this time around. Esan say, yes, I be done if I boafo. And being a president before and also going back as an opposition leader. Now also back as president, you know. Historic. Wide experience. Because per our current fourth public dispensation, been see that. Some penny be ba went me in cha ne 8 year 2 terms, you know. No akwa sounds babim. And it is a time for him to redeem himself.
Yes. And whatever went wrong.
Me did say before Oye Mampenyinda no, some loopholes were never be Oye into Wasambano, he will correct it. Make us some few things I think is very good. Mabaha severally for so many years. Me personally, me cousin tia free SHS da. Me cousin tia so da. But I will always criticize that animal called double track system. Very, very useless. It shouldn't have come in the first place. And me did say anka abine bar so in 2016, 2017, anka at least after first 3 years, you know, Ombe constructing more infrastructure.
The expansion of infrastructure to accommodate
Thank you.
Numbers, no.
Thank you very much. And John Mahama as president set up an educational committee here. I was very happy. Kofi Asare, more or less like a civil society group person, is also part of it. It's so political, just to review the free SHS.
Exactly, because after 8 years or 7 years of its implementation, no review.
No. Yeah.
Meanwhile, there were a lot of loopholes. Into the policy in itself, excellent, brilliant. I better, Mampenida da Akufo-Addo ase.
Yeah.
So the name of implementation, no.
It was very poor.
Review, no, the double track system, no, and over here no be uniform. Now, if you a bit me about we Johnny, and so because of
That is the problem. Yeah. And secondly, I think that was also putting a constitutional review committee.
Sure.
I think Professor H. Prempe Esokahubi. Me meka de bia se yamamra no yamamra bia e wo sinto bebre akosua unim. Sinto bebre a criminal can pick this constitution and hover around it and become like a saint. And I wasn't so happy during the time of Professor Melsa. The review commission. You jarred to her till now. She said the new committee and your crowd will take allowances. And your crowd will move around on the taxpayers' money. There
will be expenditure.
Thank you very much. And I believe this time around, it's answer H.E. John Dramani Mahama. Now a big part of JEM's time as president, as vice president, no name dear Koso. And I believe that also your idea is very good. Reduction of ministers to 60.
Fantastic.
One very good thing. Fantastic. Because I think the SIC boss are
na them and the time now so.
Claim the time that's 2030 something or so. You see, Akosia, let me say this and say it categorically. Legally, that woman has no basis to be in office. Legally. Who appointed you? It's the president. The president is going. Mitie Ekwasifua, former PRO for Education Ministry, MP, one of the areas in Ashanti region. Okay, say on TSS, Mampeni appointed Wonoko. Leading government officials are over to Amuninaku. You want to still remain there as SIC boss? But I'm looking at the allowances and salary
allocated to her.
Onokra or agency and the government too, and to consider somebody who came to power. Our catcher say he is going to protect the public purse, or appointing over 120 ministers. So just look at the allowances of this SIC boss. It means a minister can take more than 2 or 3 of this thing. And if a president comes and reduces the ministers to 60, he must be commended. As we sit here, I think I have 4 ministers. Now, it do 60. Which simply means there are some ministry, deputy ministers.
Deputies, yes.
If you ask me, when I become president, which can happen by the grace of God, I don't think we need any regional minister. The RCC is there. We can have more or less like a regional commissioner who will liaise between the districts. And for the time, in your regional ministers, in your more deputies, even some ministries.
For the time, when you deputies.
Yeah. In the early times, there were deputy ministers. It was later that it was changed. Remember. Yes. And if you call Ministry of Agriculture, there was minister in charge of horticulture.
There were 2 or 3.
At the same time.
Attorney General had 2 deputies.
Thank you very much. So I think that he has done very well. And going forward, Wasanswa set up a committee here. Ebeshese review his 120 days in government, led by the Honorable Valerie Sawyer. You see, John Dramani Mahama, he has taken off very well. And I like the situation whereby it's more or less as if there is some calmness in the system.
Sure.
His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo time, there was so much vindictiveness in the system. Most important in the education setup, we all know. During the time of Napo as education minister, you dare not talk. Even when things were going wrong. That one alone, giving people the chance to express their grievances was also very good. And I believe, sir, John Dramani Mahama will succeed. And when I make one sister station, say, anybody who prays that the country should go down the drain is not a human being.
That's
because what your man be. And we should reach the government well and hope, say, when something bad happens, we will give constructive criticisms to ensure that the country moves on their path in Nayepe.
Naturally, say, ye bebo, ye man penny, abaso. and in Crawford for the 30 days in India. So far, so good. Let's move to the Daily Searchlight. Minority lampoons NDC government for dropping charges against former officials. From Joadane de aye dede wo mayimu hapa. Wo former appointees ye papa Dramani Bayo nene Attorney General. Ye yi omo say semna ye guso edi wo court no. The state is no longer interested. Afabi any nje wo mu fili say nka yemma processes no they should go through the court processes na nensi na ehwe so mu dibim na mu ndibim ba wo hwa aban no enhu mfasodie bia e de bebre oban no nti na Attorney General no ebi wo ha ato force ndie no yese wa withdraw aha yese wa withdraw ebi also so say so follow biom kra nti
I think sir we need to let the law take its course. Niema we no niema bia say yeah it's rather signifies say ebia ye foa niema bi so BBSC I who say the defunct Capital Bank which at 2000 was in charge. I think say abano Emma Sika nke yedi shim na yetimi asan eden yetimi ama na peja na edrum pempen so a ebetimi serve Ghana for and I say redeeming its image in terms of the banking system, but the money was transferred to another bank, and I think that is why these court issues all came, because boa on wetimi in a year also assigned the scanner at the court building another bank. So I think seninia in bia na entwe intinem say a court proceedings in nearby. But abine bem na say microphone. These are my political affiliates. Intino I was say me exonerate you from these clauses in Niama, and as a laws are bogana hubain nema in Niamanko the way I was a kono. Mijidi I was say no mum nieshe. But abine biabeba so na say Name crop for
withdraw cases.
You withdraw cases in Niama. Na mijiri say your democracy ye na FB name
yeah.
But ye who sa Niama we so Western world. Omo idiom which Trump and so by whatever happened at Capital. We Sancrophonia, there was a case against them because they invaded the premises of their parliament and Sani many years here. But Obaya no, also omunia. Inti meka say, are we practicing what the Westerners are practicing? And as a democracy, now say yenye for democracy ebe boy. And I believe say no was here. Ebe boy ye nation
peculiar to us.
Ghana. I think that is what we need to do. We don't need to look at maybe the excerpts we see out there. Ne and oh, we US cry inti enzo ya na nyeshe. Say yes, then I think say we are following blindly. But we have educated elites. We have intellectuals. I think say interpreting the law and any pabako and interpret it. It is say ye can't insembi efa law one. I believe say it should go to its conclusional halt. Na ubien who say papay ondi bendu and I say odifo. Now I think say I clear the airwaves. But any same moment, it brings political tensions. And now so say, na ye nya inti CAB say, oh, so who are buying mudia BBC wa buying basokra ampona yemfanya asem. I think say it brings about lawlessness. And a magidia ye wo judicial system no so endim. And feel say no dear omon sanhwe. Those who are perpetrators are almost facing crime. Let them face their crime. If there is a need that the case cannot continue because there is no basis, I think say no support. No, the court should move in that direction. But then yes, discontinue. There was no sitting. But I think that whatever you are insinuating in terms of their wrongdoings, in its time. No. Also, I was saying, you guys need to sit. And we need to see that. The way we are seeing the appointments, live on TV, no, I think that some of these cases we also need to see it, so that when it comes to a conclusional halt, we all understand, say, oh, perfection has been done. But enya sadia na ekwa say kataso momu asubi wo ho ayede proye kankan ebehye aban no. Nti media make can say that's my standpoint. Me feel say the ekoso no enya ade ayaye ne ye. Because I will say any year dia, let it go through the process. If it goes through the process, everybody becomes convinced that, oh, asemi yakọ amaye say basis be any, there is no basis. In so be anymore. I will say a continue case. No? But here in Timinga say in so be any near Casutin to time. Yeah, no dear. May feel say
Nichirin. Would see and come more there is a other group or more case and cases like this, these cases are of the nature of national interest, you know, and age no kebeya. Anka ebi enko fa nchiremu bi emre oman no although emremu no emra no enhye egi say chichachira omachirem but enkwafo susu say sene adna kwakwa national issue as a minu ebe man kan na detention ene as a enkwafo gidi e wa ben ma say eya ate ada no ntinka egi no senka for oman no ye sene ebe ma tension akofem kakra no anka egi emmachirem a lawyer for we can we what do you think?
Akusia, I'm finding from these two angles. First of all, the minority in parliament, I raise the issue, you know, they are being greatly hypocritical. Secondly, okay, there is no law. I share the age say on betri ma the kunti awa enter into nolle prosequa, right?
Yeah.
Article 88(4). I say all offenses prosecuted in the name of the Republic of Ghana shall be at the suit of the Attorney General or any other person authorized by him in accordance with law. Most of the issues, you know, are about Dr. Opuni Cocoa Board issue. Second, Dr. Atuforsen, this ambulance saga. Third one, Sedu Agongo issue about Capital Bank. Yeah. And a fourth one I know is about Dr. Siama, former deputy
of Bank of Ghana.
BOG, Bank of Ghana deputy. You see, Abai Eba Kunyano so enche 30 days and 30 days plus. But from 2017 till last year, Dr. Opuni has been going to court almost every time since 2017. Because you're a legal person. The law can be used to frustrate people. So, I said the rules of justice grind slowly, but you're very fair to the fact. What has Opuni done? Issue about fertilizer. I won't go into the case itself. But the fact is that it became clear to anybody looking at the issue, say, the former AG, Godfrey Yabo Adami, was using the power of the state to go after people. Because I don't like bastardizing state institutions. That doesn't mean, say, individuals, you know, they can't do things to frustrate other people. Ben Kankwichi, name say there was a tape that was circulated between Mr. Richard Jakpa
and
Dami. You see, there were legal brains say that was a basis for the dismissal of Godfrey Dami. But he continued. Until if a new government comes, now Oshemu clearly, you see, Dr. Ine is not just a lawyer. A lawyer of high repute, you know.
Sure.
And his deputy, lawyer Sai.
Sure, yeah.
These are people who will not just go and pick the case and say, yeah, Phantom chain. I like what you said, say, nobody deserves any explanation if the AG enters into nolle prosequa. But the fact of the matter is that, most of the issues now, I didn't see prosecution, I saw persecution. Those are the things we should speak against. Saying you sue the state power to go after people just to molest them. Look at what happened with reference to
persecution under the cloak of prosecution.
Thank you very much. And seeing the minority shouting, I mean, I'll justify it. It is clear hypocrisy because, you see, I believe, say, we should take our judicial system in high esteem. I was so sad. I don't like it, I was so sad to see, say, there was a judge, a female judge in Kumasi. She was trying people who were NPP. And all trial, Omo attack judge no free courtroom
manager here.
And Dami entered nolly prosecutor. I believe say you see he who comes with equity must come with clean hands. And to me rapia make say omo ni case bia if they have a case against these people for 7 good years, 8 years, they would have been prosecuted. But because there were no cases, they were delaying and frustrating these people. And to Yansha say you use the power of the state to disturb people unnecessarily.
You mean you nurturing say yen try as a ban omo not to use the power given them to frustrate citizens. Nature say discretionary power say dia mo administrative power say dia show mo sano omo nhwe na omo fan mu omani ye ma mo fan ma metata amanfo ne tememufo na abedwafo medam ase say mo be mo jebre be kan yensa na nka yenyanka benya 2 more hours to discuss these issues. Because me say na ase mu ye deep pan na nsem wo ha na mo pese kan so mre aye mre enti ye be won pa na nyame pa da foforo so no ya tonsa frem na ye de state issues ensem abre or mindful mo amo hwe yen we ye Kantanka TV state issues wo frontom from dwumadie na muguso amo hwe no ye de dwumadie no AC me ana me di ho chiame me di ane ohene ba akosua safo a aboafo omoboa ye ya Posafo School of Arts and Sciences omowa awoshi senior high school pese odo ba kwa mpasho obetimi ede oba kwa omo ye ade papa ope supplements so amekanfo emulate herbal supplement ede maw ohwe ma ho fama nsuso a Montclair collection na ede atare fefefe we ema me wo mo wo ofanko barrier ho na opagya woni abehu